Hello students, welcome to online classes of Shri Mahavir International School. Students, in science, your second chapter, microorganism, we had discussed up to fungi. In this chapter, I taught you that mean of microorganism and the different types of microorganism, in which I taught you the fungi, viruses, protozoa, etc. And today we are going to discuss about the virus. Students, virus is also another type of microorganism. Let's see what kind of characteristics are there in microorganism virus. So first thing, so they are the smallest microorganism that can only be seen under an electron microscope. It means the size of such type of microorganism it's too small, and we can say it's very tiny in comparison of other microorganism, and not we are not able to see them with the simple microorganism. To see them we will have to use the electron microscope. Second characteristics of virus is they are made up of genetic material surrounded by a protein coat, and they can only multiply inside a living host cells. Living host cells means, let me explain student, they are made of genetic materials surrounded by a protein coat. It means they have a protein coat surrounded by their body, and they behave like a non-living when they are outside from a living thing's body. When they enter and when they contact with the living cells, then they start their reproduction. So here in this line we can see that they can only multiply inside a living host cells. Okay, so they require living host cells to multiply and for the reproduction. And outside the host cells, a virus does not show any characteristics. As I told you, they behave like non-living things when they are outside from the living things. And fourth one, the viruses are said to be neither living thing nor non-living things. It means neither living and nor non-living thing. Some examples of viruses are bacteriophage, influenza virus are some examples of viruses. So students, what we have studied about the viruses are very small, and they behave like non-living things, and when they contact and when they comes in contact with the living host cell and living organism, then they start reproduction. So these are neither living nor non-living. Now students, we have to know useful microorganism. Students, is it possible that microorganism can help us? Yes, it's possible students. See how this is possible. Some microorganisms are useful to us in several ways as explained below. In preparation of food items, students, in kitchen and in any hotel, okay, some bread, pastries and different dishes when cooked, then they can use some microorganism also. How? See, a bacterium called the lactobacillus is useful in making curd from milk. How the milk convert into the curd? Because of which bacterium? Lactobacillus. Okay, milk contain lactose, okay, and this is the type of sugar, okay. lactose, and curd contain what? Bacterium lactobacillus that help to convert lactose in the milk to lactic acid. In this way, here is a equation. In this equation, simply you can understand that here is a milk, okay, and milk and spoonful of curd in a bowl. We have to mix them, and it's a lukewarm. It should be lukewarm. Lukewarm means the temperature of a milk, temperature of that milk should be low, okay. It's not should be too much hot. So this is called the lukewarm. So in lukewarm milk you can mix a spoonful of curd in a bowl, and action of lactobacillus, the result will be the product as a curd. So cheese and paneer are made by using the lactobacillus or streptococcus. Yeast. Yeast is what? Yeast is a type of fungus, okay. It belongs to fungi kingdom. Yeast, a fungus, is used to make the bread, cakes, pastries, idlis, etc. To make the bread, yeast is added to a mixture of flour, sugar, and warm water, and is needed to make a soft dough. And the dough is left undisturbed for the 2-3 hours. Then the dough rises due to the release of the gas, the carbon dioxide, by the respiration of yeast cells. You know, students, what happens when you add yeast, and this is the fungus, in the flour, okay. In Hindi we can say that the powder of wheat, okay, the atta, and sugar and some warm water, and add some powder of yeast, and well kneaded, okay, guthna, that is, okay. So after that is become as a dough, and after preparation of that dough, you will see after 2-3 hours that dough rises due to the releasing of the gas, carbon dioxide gas. Why the carbon dioxide gas is going to be released? Because there is presence of yeast, and in the respiration process yeast produce carbon dioxide, and due to that dough will be fluffy. Students, here is a fact, okay. Protozoa means the first animal. Euglena is the only protozoa which contain the chlorophyll and can prepare its own food. Students, here is a type of protozoa, and the Euglena is a type of protozoa which contain the chlorophyll, and if that contain chlorophyll, it means that can prepare their own food. Students, how can we prepare the curd? Here we can see, here is a bowl. In this bowl we have added the curd in milk, and after 4-5 hours you will see the milk has been converted into curd due to the presence of lactobacillus bacterium. And here is a bread. By adding the yeast in a flour, you can make it as a fluffy, okay. Students, now we have understood that there are not only the harmful effects of a microorganism. Besides the harmful effects, there are some useful effects of a microorganism, and we can use these microorganisms in our daily lives. So here some commercial uses of microorganism. Commercial uses also there. Microorganisms are used in the large scale production of some substance. Some commercial uses of the different microorganisms are followed here. The first one, how we can use the yeast, that is a fungus. Yeast is used in the commercial production of the wine and beer. Have you heard the name of wine and beer? So, for the production of wine and beer, yeast is grown on the natural sugar present in the grain of barley and the wheat, rice, crushed fruit juice, etc. And they convert sugar into alcohol. So, here what will be the use of yeast? Yeast will convert sugar into the alcohol. So, for the beverage like the wine, beer, we can use what? Yeast. And here yeast is going to be used as a commercial production, and the process in which the sugar convert in alcohol by using the yeast, this process is called fermentation. So the process of breaking down of the sugar into alcohol by the action of microbes is called the fermentation. Students, don't be confused. Here the process is called fermentation. There is another process that is called fragmentation. Okay, so fragmentation and fermentation are differ to each other. In fragmentation, what happens that Spirogyra, the algae, divided into its different part for the reproduction. This process is called, the filament is breaking, that is called fragmentation. And here the fermentation is what? By using the yeast, sugar is going to be converted into alcohol. Students, here is an activity third, to make alcohol by the fermentation of sugar. Here in this activity we will prepare alcohol. So take a beaker and fill it 200 milliliter of water in it. Add 2 tablespoons of sugar in it and stir it well. And if you stir it well, then here the formation of a what? Sugar solution. Then add half a spoon of yeast in it and cover it with a glass watch. Keep it for 4 to 5 hours in a warm place, because we have to provide the suitable condition for growing yeast. And then smell it. You will find that it smells like alcohol. Students, in this activity, what we did? We took a beaker, and in that beaker we took 10 milliliter of what? H2O. H2O is water. And then we add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Some bacteria help in the ripening of tea leaves, which gives tea its characteristic flavor. Ripening means converting to its maturation. Okay. Second characteristic, yeast is an important source of vitamin B complex, and the fermentation property of some fungi is used in manufacturing citric acid, oxalic acid. Manufacturing means in some factories, in some laboratories, if there is a manufacture of the citric acid and the oxalic acid, then here also the fermentation process can be used. And now the some other uses of microorganisms. Students, in increasing fertility of soil, as we know that each and every farmer required the large production in his farm. So for growing and for increasing the fertility of the soils, how the microorganism helps to the farmer? A microorganism, that is rhizobium. And what type of this microorganism? This is a bacteria, are present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants like the pea and beans. These are dal. Okay, in Hindi we can say These are dals and pulses. These bacteria are able to fix atmospheric nitrogen and convert it into suitable form like nitrates. Some bacteria, okay, let me explain, students. You know what happens? The presence of rhizobium fixes the nitrogen in soil. How does it take place? Actually, that green plants cannot take cannot take directly the amount of nitrogen from atmosphere, because here the nitrogen in which form? Gas form. Then the presence of rhizobium bacteria which present its root nodules, what they do? Okay, they fix that nitrogen, and they convert that nitrogen into the what? Nitrates. Into the nitrates. And here nitrate means it is the water soluble form of nitrogen. Water soluble. And here if nitrogen has been mixed and dissolved into the water, then the plants can easily absorb the nitrogen. And why the nitrogen is needed for the plant? Because nitrogen form the amino acids, and after amino acids, here the protein synthesis, and protein is a bodybuilding nutrients, and for the growth the nitrogen is must require the plants. And some bacteria and blue green, some bacteria and blue green algae living in the soil can also fix the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrate. These microbes are commonly called the biological nitrogen fixer. Soil fertility increases with the nitrogen fixation. Students, here the how soil fertility increase by the nitrogen fixation, because I told you for the growth of the plant nitrogen is must required. And if you grow the leguminous plants in field, then the amount of nitrogen will be increased. And next time if you grow the another crop like the wheat crop, the barley crop, then the benefit of the nitrogen will be given to the next crop like the wheat and the barley. So now let's talk about the activity 4. To study the roots of leguminous plants. Gently pull out a grain or the bean plants from the soils. Observe its root nodules. You will find the bulb-like structure on its roots as shown in the figure. Students, here we are going to see the picture of root nodules, which I told you in leguminous plants, the presence of root nodules and in that root nodules presence of rhizobium bacteria. So in these pictures you can see the root nodules. These are the root nodules, students. These like pink color and red color you can see. These are the root nodules, and these root nodules contain what? Rhizobium bacteria. Now the next benefit and useful effect of microorganism is what? In cleaning the environment. Students, as we know that nowadays the rate of pollution is going to be increased day by day due to the uh, different activities of human beings, and yeah, in industries we are polluting the nature. Okay, and by the different animals also. If any animal die, then it here will be, and if it died, then how that organism will be decomposed. So these process are depend on the microorganism. If the dead animal do not destroy Okay, then day by day here you will see a layer of dead animals on the earth surface. So the cleaning the environment is must compulsory. And how is this possible? Because of what? Microorganisms. Bacteria and fungi break down the decomposed and the dead and decaying plants and animals matter into simple inorganic substance. Students, what do you mean by the simple inorganic substance? That part of living things. These are that are called organic substance. The human being and the other animals, they have complex body. Okay, and they have the different nutrients like the nitrogen, calcium, phosphorus in their body structure, like their bones contain calcium, phosphorus. So what the function of a microorganism? They start decomposition process, okay, on that dead and decaying matter. And after some time you will see that organism has been disappear. So they are thus called decomposers. Inorganic compounds like the phosphates, nitrates, sulfates are mixed in the soil and are used by the green plants during the process of photosynthesis. Students, have you heard the name of process photosynthesis, in which green plants take water minerals from the soils? They take air and air, and in air what? Carbon dioxide is from the air. They take sunlight from the sun, and in presence of chlorophyll they prepare their own food. Here I taught that they take water and minerals from the soils. So minerals from where the minerals have come in that soil? They have come from that animals. And how is it possible? It is possible by the microorganism, because microorganism are called decomposer. They decompose the body and they convert that complex structure into its simple form, like the phosphate, nitrates, sulfates. And that phosphates, nitrates, sulfate have been mixed into the soil. And when the green plants absorb the water, then with the water that nutrients will be absorbed by that plant. So hence decomposer have to keep the environment clean by preventing the accumulation of remains and waste of dead organism. Now students, in sewage, how the microorganism are benefits give their benefit effect in sewage. We will talk in next video, students. So take care.